Some news just coming in, and this is rather tragic. 30 people have been killed and 100 injured in a Russian attack on the Kramatorsk train station in Donetsk Oblast. Thousands were at the station at the time of the missile strike. Locals are being evacuated ahead of the escalation in the east. There was an attack. Civilians have been killed. 30 of them, hundreds have been injured in a missile strike. 30 people killed, 100 injured in a Russian attack on Kramatorsk train station in Donetsk Oblast. Mausami Singh is getting us more details on that story. Mausami, the trail of bad news coming in from Ukraine essentially just continues there, with civilians once again being targeted. They were civilians who are trying to leave, who are being evacuated, or trying to escape, and they have died in this horrific attack. Mausami, I'm going to repeat my question. These were civilians who were trying to really run for their lives. They were trying to escape this particular region, and they were attacked. We'll just try and connect with Mausami in a bit from now, but these are details of a horrific attack, a missile strike at a train station near Donetsk. There is killed 30 civilians, hundreds of them have been injured. 30 people killed and 100 injured in a Russian attack on the Kramatorsk train station in Donetsk Oblast. Thousands were at the station at the time of the missile strike. Locals were being evacuated ahead of the escalation in the eastern region. "44 days into the attack, and things are only getting worse as far as Russia's aggression is concerned. This is a Russian missile strike that we're reporting on, where 30 people have been killed and 100 injured on the Kramatorsk train station in Donetsk Oblast, where we understand thousands were at the station at the time of the missile strike. 30 have been killed, hundreds of them have been injured, most of them civilians is what we've been given to understand. "26 bodies found under two ruined buildings in Borodanka town, about 25 kilometers west of Bucha. Authorities accused Russian troops of carrying out airstrikes in the town, which is being searched by Ukrainian authorities after Russia withdrew. The spate of destruction continues, and 26 bodies have been found under two ruined buildings in Borodanka, a city which is facing the worst of the Russian wrath, where an estimate seems to be suggesting that things could be worse than Bucha here. Remember, Borodanka is a town about 25 kilometers west of Bucha, the face of the Russian aggression, where bodies have been found under the debris in residential buildings, in schools, colleges, hospitals. Here in Borodanka, 26 bodies have been found in buildings, under buildings, ruins of buildings essentially that have fallen. Authorities have said these are Russian troops. They're carrying out airstrikes on the town. I'm going to go across to Mausami Singh, who continues to be with us. Mausami, first of all, we were reporting on the horrific missile strike near Donetsk Oblast at a train station where 30 civilians were killed, and now this horrific news of 26 more bodies being discovered under debris in Borodanka.
Absolutely shocking, Sneha, and day after day, more deaths, more civilian deaths are being reported, even at Borodanka, or if you look at what happened in Bucha. It has really shook the entire world, and a humanitarian crisis. We're on the edge of a war that has killed many innocent lives, and mostly the women and the children have been the vulnerable section that have been impacted. Even as we talk, we are in Mykolaiv, and earlier we showed you how cluster bombs were falling, raining hell in Mykolaiv. Right now behind me you can see this and completely demolished, bombed building. This is a building that looks dilapidated, but it was a a hotel that was being run, and it was a pretty popular joint, a restaurant and a hotel that looks completely damaged and demolished, devastated. This entire town is. On one hand, you have bombs raining. This is the kind of picture that existed before the war. But recently, just 2 days back, this hotel was bombed, and we are not very far away from the administrative headquarters. Now, Mykolaiv, let me tell you, is like the wall that is protecting the rest of the southern west part of Ukraine. And importantly, the governor of Mykolaiv has been very encouraging and inspirational. And that's one reason that the Russians had bombed the administrative headquarters of Mykolaiv. Apart from that, continuous cluster bombs being rained in on this city, which was a major port city. So that's the kind of bombing and attack that you see, Sneha, city after city, whether it's Kyiv or whether it's Lviv or whether it is, the far south, Mykolaiv or Odessa. Even Odessa was bombed. Today we have news reports of the outskirts being bombed. So continuously the Russians targeting the economic nerve center of Ukraine to in fact choke in the resources of this country.
To me, this is upsetting and distressing at just so many levels. Just do move your camera around to show our viewers the scale of destruction. Mausami is telling us this was a hotel. This was the popular joint from where she was standing. Viewers, there were people who would spend time in that particular hotel, in this popular joint, and look at what remains right now. Mausami, do give us an idea as far as the visuals here, the pictures are concerned.
Absolutely. So we were seeing this posh hotel, and now what you see is only debris. Just look at this entire stretch. The entire building has been completely damaged. Hell raining in from the skies here, because this is a port city, and continuous missile attacks. Many were thwarted, but continuously all night the residents of this Mykolaiv town hear bombings, because not far away from here, just about 20-30 kilometers away, is the borderline where the Russian troops have been stopped by the Ukrainian troops. And that's one reason that even in the night people don't sleep. They have sleepless nights. The outlet points have been choked. The railway station has been bombed. So you can only come via the road route, and the road route is actually a focal point. Parminder, can we just show the entire visuals of how this entire debris, you can see this. I think it says a coffee point. Parminder will show you the visuals. This was the board that actually said the name of the hotel. And this coffee point, there are still some pamphlets and the windows strewn around this entire debris. That's completely shocking. Parminder, just come in, close in and show the visuals here of the hotel. Yes, we can see, look at this. That's the hotel. The nameplate of the hotel tells you a lot. This is a very symbolic picture of what the Russians are trying to do to run over Ukrainian cities, choke their economic and strategic cities. Very unfortunate, distressing and depressing. The citizens here have been standing up to this assault, standing up to this fight. Even the governor has been very supportive of the entire the locals here, and his sense of humor is in fact enthused and inspired the citizens. But clearly, Sneha, even as we walk through this debris, we are also slipping, and this is not the only hotel. Railway station bombed, buildings bombed, administration blocks bombed. From the ground, we are getting you these reports which are completely disturbing. We would like to tell our viewers the only intention intention of India Today is to get you the entire picture, 360-degree coverage of the story that is unfolding on ground zero. Truly shocking, and we do pray that this war stops, and India Today definitely prays for peace of the departed, but at the same time it is a job, it is our duty to report from ground zero, even as we don't know when these cluster bombs will rain hell. They've been continuously happening, and they don't target a particular enemy. They target everybody who falls on the way.
Well, absolutely, Mausami. It's distressing. It's also worrying. All of you have been out there reporting on these developments from different parts of Ukraine. Do be safe. I mean, really, Mausami. Also, to give us an idea about where the people are. I mean, look at these ghost towns. One wonders that these were towns bustling, cities bustling with people. Regular European cities, essentially. You know, what has happened? Where are the people? The number of refugees has increased as well. Many of them have moved to Poland. But what about the rest? For example, where the attack took place today, Mausami, these were people who are being evacuated because the eastern region is now coming under attack. Where are all of these people really going?
You know, it's unfortunate, Sneha, the news that is pouring in that people who are being evacuated, the entire evacuation machinery is being attacked. That is actually really, really unfortunate, and it is absolutely shocking. And even here, you know, there were evacuations taking place because Mykolaiv has been on target from day one, and the railway station was bombed to, in fact, choke in people from not going out. Victoria, can you come here, please? Can you come here, please? So Victoria is one of the residents. She is living on the edge. She's got a son. She's got her mother here, and she was planning to flee away from this town. But your mother, your family doesn't want to leave and go. You're a resident. How scared are you?
Very scary, but we have no choice. We must be here, and sometimes it's very scary, but we're still here. With my son, with my mother, grandmother, and my dog. Yeah. So
earlier you were planning to go away, but they refused to go.
I'm not planning to go yet, but if it will be need, maybe, but I don't know now.
So tell the viewers how scary it is in the night, because you said you were hearing bombardment all the time and these cluster bombs, people dying on bus stops, people dying outside shops because all of a sudden there's a splinter that hits them.
At night it's not so scary because at night everybody is home, staying home. But in the night it's the most scary time because of darkness around, and it is just pushing on psychics.
So tell us, how far are the Russians from here? At the border? How far is the border where the fighting is going on?
We don't know exactly how far Russians from here, but in official information, Russians are far in the Kherson, in the side of city of Kherson. Yes, so we hope that they will be there.
And they hope that Mykolaiv will not fall, because Mykolaiv is the last barrier, it's the last wall that is existing for the Russians to, in fact, demolish so that they can penetrate through the entire Ukraine, Sneha. And this is a ground report that we are getting from Mykolaiv. It's a ghost town. Just take a look. You can hardly see any citizens. Most of these people have fled. They have left their places. Whoever is there is leaving. These are all locked houses. People are not staying home. Those who are still here, they are also locked. Their curtains are drawn. Nobody is moving out. The shops are closed. The malls are closed. And everybody is so scared. They fear that this shouldn't happen to them. They are scared. I heard a very old lady. She spoke about how splinters came and hit her house, and she couldn't move out of her house for a week because she was so scared. So that's the kind of hysteria, phobia, and that's the kind of terror that's reigning in. And the worst thing is that in this war of forces, the civilians have been butchered.
Absolutely. Mausami, thanks for getting us all of those details. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for more on that. Really appreciate you joining us. Do be safe, Mausami.